I am back at it again, and this time I'm going to Target to try to see what kind of deals they have. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, Target and deals, get out of here. That's literally never going to happen, and I agree with you, it's not going to happen. Most of the time, Target charges so much more for the exact same items. I've literally done this myself. You can do it too. You just literally pull up any item on the Target app and then pull up the same item on the Walmart app, and you can see that Target most of the time charges more for the same item. It's kind of crazy when you actually do the analysis item by item like that. Now, for some items, that is going to be basically the same cost. So for some things, Target is going to be okay, but you always have to be mindful when you're shopping and make sure that you're doing that comparison so that you don't end up paying more money for the exact same item. Of course, that does come at a cost, which is convenience. I will fully admit, sometimes I do cave and I just buy everything that I need at one store. I'm very rarely actually a shopper for Target specifically, just because I know that they are notorious for upcharging because they do have a slightly better reputation. That being said, you do have to check out those Target Circle deals. If you have a deal for a Target Circle item, I found that those items are actually going to be so much cheaper than the equivalent item would be at Walmart, so you just have to keep an eye on it. You also have to make sure that you're not overspending just to get the Target Circle deal. Like, they always run buy $30 of items and then you can get a $5 gift card. Unless you're already buying the $30 of items, that is not a good deal, and I would not recommend anybody doing that one. But for other things, when you actually are already buying that stuff, they do become a good deal. I've recently gotten really into using hypochlorous acid for a variety of things. It's really good for skincare. Just a pro tip, if you're in the market for a new spray and you're struggling with some skin issues, it helps so much with blemishes and with acne. Anyway, I've recently gotten into it, and Target Circle actually gave me 13 ounces of product for $8, which, if you know how much hypochlorous acid costs, that is such a good deal. At Ulta, you can get it from Tower 28, which is an actual brand and is going to be very expensive because it is an actual brand, but you literally get like $2 per ounce of product, so 13 ounces would have been $26 as opposed to here. But the only reason that I got it was because of the Target Circle deal, as well as it being on sale. I think that the actual lesson here is just to do your due diligence and shop around for the best deal. It comes at the cost of your time, so you do have to do that cost basis analysis and see whether your time is worth it or whether you just want to get the most convenient things. I'm on the side of I sometimes want to get the most convenient things, but most of the time I'm not doing much anyway, so I might as well just spend the time and make a day out of it. When I was younger, my parents always made a giant day out of going shopping, and I think that that's why I don't mind spending all of this time making sure that I'm getting the best possible deals that I can. I have recently seen this girl on YouTube who goes extreme couponing, and she is my actual hero. She manages to get so much stuff at a fraction of the cost that it would be. I do dabble in coupons, but I am not an expert at couponing by any means, and I would really like to learn more about couponing. I think that it is such a good pro tip to be able to coupon and get so many good deals that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. And again, it does come at the cost of your time because you have to go out and search for all of these different coupons, but I think if you're saving that much money on your necessities, it's worth it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys like to go couponing or what you guys do in order to get a deal. I am kind of sad that fall is almost upon us because I have so many different ice making silicone mats that I will now not be able to use until next summer, and it's so depressing because I really like making ice in different shapes, but when it's cool, nobody wants ice drinks. Maybe I'm just the only person who thinks that, but whenever it's cool, I want a hot drink, even if it's not like that cool yet. That being said, I am so happy that fall is almost upon us because I love fall. It is literally my favorite time of year. Pumpkins, the whole season, cinnamon, everything about it is just so great. I really want to go to a haunted house this year, but the issue is I never find anybody to go to a haunted house with, and I don't feel like being scared all by myself, so I really have to hone in and find somebody who wants to go to a haunted house with me this year. I hate how all of my friends are not haunted house enjoyers. I don't understand it. They're like Scrooges of Halloween. I'm telling you, nobody ever wants to dress up, nobody ever wants to hand out candy, nobody ever does anything for Halloween. It feels like I'm the only person who has Halloween spirit anymore, and I blame the fact that I can see Halloween stuff popping up at stores all the way back in July, and Target is one of the worst perpetrators of this. Seriously, every single year it's like Halloween keeps getting moved earlier and earlier. I am not going to be surprised if next year I just see Halloween immediately for the next year cropping up after Halloween has just passed, like in November or something. I don't know why stores do this. It's like, why do you start celebrating holidays literally months before the holiday happens, especially for things like Halloween? Like, nobody wants to think about Halloween in July. I read online it's because they want to take advantage of a larger season to sell stuff for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, but I think that is so dumb. Nobody wants to start celebrating Christmas in like September, which is when I see things being promoted for Christmas. I don't know why I was in the Target that day. Honestly, I was in the mall for something else and I saw that they had a Target and I was like, let me just go in and see if the Target has any good deals, and of course it didn't. I was like looking around at everything and I was like, there are literally almost no sales and there's nothing here that I actually want, but I do like to walk around and window shop a lot. That's another thing that I have been really good at, avoiding actual shopping by window shopping instead and just looking at all the pretty things and being like, that would be cute, but I don't actually need it, so I'm not gonna buy it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys do that, like just go window shopping instead of buying actual things so that you can save a little bit of money. I also saw that they had all of these Krispy Kreme donuts. Now, I don't buy into the Krispy Kreme donut hype, mainly because they overcharge for literally everything. Now, I will say that Krispy Kreme is arguably the best donut. They're so light and fluffy and I love them so much, but they charge so much for what it is that I cannot feel justified to buy them. They always run really good deals at the Krispy Kreme though, so that's why if I ever want one, I'll go with them instead of buying it from here. Luckily, I only crave donuts like one time a year and then I get a donut and then I'm good for the rest of the year, but whenever I do want one, that is what I do. Also, I've been checking out this other app that gives you like old food that a restaurant is not going to be able to sell at the end of the day, and you can get it for like a quarter of the price that it would have been, and Krispy Kreme oftentimes goes on sale there, so I'm like, maybe I can just do that instead and save even more money. The only issue is I can never eat a full dozen and they only give out full dozens. I might just buy a full dozen anyway and give the rest to my coworkers. Whenever I go to a grocery store, if they have a beauty aisle, I will be checking out the beauty aisle and seeing all of the different stuff that they have. The Target beauty aisle used to have Ulta in it, but they recently split. I never understood why Target would deal with Ulta or why Ulta wanted to get into the Target, mostly because whenever I go to a Target, there's an Ulta not that far from the Target. Like literally in this store, they have a Target and an Ulta that are directly neighbors. Like I'm not even kidding. You can literally go to one and then immediately go to the other one within 5 feet. So it never really made sense to me, and I guess that's why their collaboration stopped. Beauty products is another thing that you really got to be careful about, because a lot of times Ulta and Sephora are going to be upcharging you so much for the same things. Ironically, Ulta has the worst deals unless it's like a super sale, and I've seen a lot of the same items that are on sale at Ulta being even cheaper at Target, especially when you layer those coupons. I'm telling you, you can get so much stuff at Target for cheaper than you would at Ulta. Now that does come at the cost of not getting the points, but I think it's worth it. You just gotta make sure that you're looking at all the different deals and applying stuff regularly as you need. Of course, you can always find different stuff at Walmart, and that's probably gonna be the cheapest of them all, but then you gotta go to a Walmart, and I know that not every place has a Walmart, which I thought was kind of surprising. I thought Walmart was like a super international brand and every single country on earth has them, but I have discovered that not every place does have Walmarts, and even if they do have Walmarts, they're not gonna be super close by all the time. So at the end of the day, just work with what you got. I also really needed a new deodorant, so I went into that aisle at Target. Now, of course, I always go for the super cheap deodorants because I think that a deodorant is a deodorant. As long as it has aluminum so that it's actually antiperspirant instead of just deodorant, it works fine for me. So I was literally on my knees just crouching trying to find the best deal out of all of these different things. For some reason, they have split off the men's and the women's deodorants, and these were all the men's deodorants. Now, I will say that I do enjoy using a man's deodorant more than a women's deodorant because women's deodorant does not work quite as well as a man's deodorant. At least that's what I've seen, but I think that they might have bridged that gap because I ended up getting a women's deodorant because it was the cheapest option of them all, and I think that it's been working well. Another trick that I've discovered is that you're actually supposed to be putting on deodorant at night right after you take your night shower, and then in the morning after you take your morning shower you can just top it off. But I had no idea you're supposed to put on deodorant at night, and that makes it the most effective. At night, most of the time what I do is just glycolic acid with some of that hypochlorous acid spray on top, but nowadays what I do is I literally just put on my glycolic acid, then the hypochlorous acid, and then I put on a couple of swipes of deodorant at night too, and then in the morning what I do is a little bit of hypochlorous acid, and then I put on even more deodorant, plus I put on a little bit of baby powder just to make sure that everything stays really dry. And I've discovered that this combination is so good. It keeps you dry, it keeps you smelling fresh all day, and I personally really like it. I know that this is a weird turn for this video, but that's a pro tip. Another thing that I've recently discovered is to use glycolic acid in the lotion form to also just like moisturize your underarms. It also works so well. Plus I think all the different acids and stuff help to just keep things fresh. Beyond that, I didn't see too many great deals in the beauty aisle, so I just headed towards the checkout. Another thing that I really dislike about Target is just how confusing their store layout is. It feels like it's just really chaotic, and I don't know why. Most of the time I feel like they're just trying to lure you into buying more stuff than you otherwise would have because they just put everything out there. Honestly, I am just not really a Target shopper, in case that wasn't abundantly clear already. I typically don't come here because I don't think that the deals are that good. I can find better stuff at Walmart and other stores, and if you don't have the right coupons, then you're not going to be getting the best deal that you can. That is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know where else I should go shopping, and if you guys are extreme couponers, like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!